I am honored to have you here as the founder of Gopals. And like you say, one more volunteer at Gopals. How did you go with Gopals? Like the first time I heard it's a Gopals, but it also like Gopala kind of a thing I've heard. So, what is the story behind Gopal?
Thanks, Sunil, for coming and volunteering, and as well as thinking that this message should go to many people. For that only, I should give a big namaste and pronounce to you. See, the word Gopals, if you understand, is not new. It is not my creation, actually. The rishis and munis of our country were actually always Gopals. So that was an inspiration behind this word. I would say the entire, all the stories that are surrounding us, including birth of Bhishma Pitamaha. It's because of Kamadeva. Because Vashishta Muni was a Gopals, Vashishta Muni reared Kamadenu. Vishwamitra came and this is the whole start of the Ashtavasu, that story and all those things. So our tradition has been very, very simple. If it is a sannyasi, that sannyasi should not have affiliations with anybody and attachments to anything. But those sannyasis also reared the cows actually. Why? Because they see that cow is a representation of the physical sustenance, cosmic space. Both are interrelated actually. So the word Gopals came from the age-old wisdom and traditions. When we thought, myself, my friends Keshavji and Mukeshji were sitting together actually, we were thinking there should be something that is ancient as well as modern. What is that name? So we thought anyhow cow is also called as Go. Go represents both the cow and bull, and why don't we become friends of cow? So that's how the word emerged, and it should be like for the modern person also, Gopals. It's a diversity. For the ancient people who think that what is this Gopals? Gopalanam. That's how we arrived at that word. I think this is the story behind it. But the inspiration is rishis and munis.
Gopals actually started 12 years back, if I get it right.
Yeah, correct.
So, what made you start early 2014? What was the inspiration? How did this all begin?
Wow. It's a very good question, actually. 9 time frame, I participated in the Vishwa Mangala Go Grama Yatra. So that was a signature campaign for creating awareness about cows, as well as submitting to the president about the need for anti-cow slaughter bill. In that, I participated as a volunteer. I went and collected signatures during that interim period of 2 years. I was in Chennai. During that time, I collected the signatures from every individual while I am passing on in the train. I was working in Infosys during the time, and every time the train will stop in every station actually. So one coach fully I will ask the signature and then move to the next coach. Why to waste the time when I'm going into office actually? So that was a thought. But I started off like as a commitment that from the childhood, I was very, very passionate and about cows actually. Because in my uncle's house, whenever I go on leave, I used to be with cows and I grow in love with cows. Suddenly, when the Vishwa Mangala Go Grama Yatra happened, I felt that there is some connect between that and me. So why don't I volunteer? Anyhow, for signature only, no, you will volunteer like that as a common. It's not like I begin with a big dream, all those things. No, I came as a volunteer only and started collecting the signature. There were one person who signed, means 9 people will oppose the signature actually, saying that what is the purpose of cow? Why a cow is needed? Why bulls are needed in this? Beyond milk, what do you think about cow? That time I don't have any answer because there was a long disconnect. But by the time when I was in a childhood, and I was around 22, 24 years old, 24 to 26 years probably, 2009. More than that, actually, I don't have much answers. But that opened my eyes. I thought that let me go around multiple places across the country as well as in my own native place and see what they are doing with the cow. I started understanding with my grandfather, uncle, parents, all those people, how they used to rear cow before at homes and why. What forced them to move away from that actually. So all these came in my mind and I came back to Bangalore in 2010 time frame and I started working for EMC Square. During the time, I used to volunteer for various things related to school kids and other things. That time it struck an idea. What ailed Goshala was people, because people are ready to come for a school kid drive, people are ready to go for some kind of kids activity. But this voiceless cow, there is no community that speaks for that actually. Only the farmers, the cow herd, and the people who are dependent on that. But really, daily morning when we wake up, what we need a milk, and after mother's birth also we need a milk actually. So yes, mother give birth to a child. For 10 months, she will give mother's milk. Beyond that, whose milk we are dependent on? Cow's milk only we are dependent on. And cow dung and cow urine is very pious actually. So all these things struck my mind. I took a decision that we will involve the employees of my own company, EMC Square. So I came up with a plan that was a very decent plan, sapling plantation in a Goshala. Immediately that will click among the employees actually. And many of my friends came forward. There I went. We told that why don't we clean the Shala? Let us be a change. We will do a Swachh Goshala. Even before the government of India announced Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, we did Swachh Goshala Abhiyan. We started going to Goshalas actually. 2, 3, 3 became 5, 5 became 100, 100 became thousands actually. So that's how this start of the Gopals actually in 2014. With 2 to 3 people it started. Then we continued every quarter going to a particular Goshala in Malur, that is Sri Raghavendra Go Ashrama Malur, and we made that entire Goshala sustainable by first we will go clean the Shala with our own hand, tell what is the importance of antiseptic properties of cow dung and cow urine and other things. Then entire Goshala is cleaned. We will have one activity like cuddling a cow, selfie with calf, and creating an aura around, going around the cow, pradakshanam, and then visiting the factory which produces go products so that people lead a chemical-free life. Then we will have a bullock cart ride, fun activities for the kids, games for the kids. We will have a sumptuous breakfast and lunch. And as a family, we gathered, this is how this Gopals has evolved over a period of time. Now we are in the 11th year.
So, what keeps you going, sir? I'm very curious. What keeps you going? First year, second year, 11th year. I'm
The
sure
key,
more
what keeps me going is, yeah, that's a very, very right question. If you see this shirt which I'm wearing, this cow is ringing the bell for justice actually. This is based on our book, Go Katha Amritam has this story actually. Recently, our Mahila volunteers have released a book called Go Katha Amritam, which contains Ondu Dina Ondu Katha. Every day, one story. 32 stories on cows actually from the Mahabharatam Ramayanam in association with Vyomalabs. It's available in English, Kannada, Tamil, and all those things. The first story that comes is Manunidi Cholan's story. That is, the king goes, and I will tell it to you in a very short way. Ellalan is the king name, a Chola king, and he ruled as per the Manu. One day the prince chariot rode over a small calf actually. It was a story by the divine actually. So the king came to know about it, and king told that I will ride on my son because the injustice was done. So he had a bell on the top. Nobody has rung up till now until the calf came and rang the bell. He ruled as per the Manunidi actually. Right? So now, since the king did this whole thing, the calf came alive and they told that you are ruling as per the perfect dharma, all those things. How it has got relation, I'm not saying today we should ride on top of the chariot of those who do all this. I'm saying till the cow stops ringing the bell for justice, we need to work in a positive frame of mind. What is the positive frame of mind? Everybody, there are many places where the cows are sent for slaughtering, all those things, because there is an economic need for it actually. We should not speak ill on the subject actually. There is a complete subject actually. The same economic, if we bring it to this particular aspect, how to make use of cow dung, whether it is, the first thing is manure, second thing is oil, using bulls we can drive the oil, then we can make different cow products like, if you see, this is a small keychain that is made of cow dung. We gave to everybody in the walkathon. I'm sure you have also attended, you would have known actually. So rather than giving plastics, we can give these kind of sustainable materials. This is a memento. I'm just giving you, for example, this is made of cow dung actually. And bubudi, that has come from cow dung. This can be used for alkaline purpose as well as on our forehead also we can do. dishwash powder made of cow dung. So these kind of things we are teaching to the farmers on how to do is tooth powder that is made from cow dung, clove, and indup, that is a rock salt, pepper, and other things actually. So what I wanted to do is, if the economy, ecology, and economy, dharma or desh, all are interconnected. All our two eyes actually. Cow and economy. Cow forms the fundamental principle of ecology. If cow and economy are integrated, if somebody is making a living out of cow, why do they sell the cow? This was the fundamental principle that keeps me going. And every house need to have cows in the future. For that, we are working on step-by-step basis actually. Go Sunday is a right platform to connect the urbanites as well as the rural people with native cows again. The Go Sunday should become like Go Day. That is our aim.
Fantastic, sir. I see that passion coming so very, very strongly, and such a beautiful story that you shared, the cow ringing the bell for justice. But also there is this distinction in terms of Desi cow. So how is Desi cow fitting into all this?
India was the Bharat, the so-called Bharat, which has 56 nations. That is our ancient 56 nations or 56 eco-sensitive zones. And as per the eco-sensitive zones, the cows have evolved actually based on the climatic zones. And within that 56 eco-sensitive zones, in India, every 30 kilometers once, the climate varies actually. So you can see that within Bangalore itself, one part there will be rain, another part there won't be any rain. That is how the Indian climate is evolved actually. There are 6 seasons actually for us. These are all the principles in which the Bharatiya wisdom operates, because wherever the place where the sun is at its peak, that nation will always have subikshan. That cow is also, the native cow is also because of the India's ancient philosophy of wisdom actually. So everything is evolved, and the other cow that came into picture, that is Jersey and HF, are imported for the needs of the country. The policymakers that time have decided to import this for certain habitual things that have undergone changes in our life. Earlier, Indians were not accustomed to tea and coffee. This tea and coffee culture came when the British came actually. Even during the Mughal rules actually, we don't used to drink tea and coffee because it was alien to us actually. So Lipton tea, for example, came into picture when Lipton came to Ceylon. From Ceylon, this was exported. That's how the Lipton tea came into picture. And all this Ooty, Kodaikanal, all these things wherever we are going, the hill station, were abode to the native cows and bulls, which were responsible for maintaining the climate. You won't imagine, there is a forest near Satyamangalam, all those places actually, where almost near Coimbatore I'm talking about, where close to 145 days the rain will come. Today, the rains have reduced. Do you know the reason? The reason is very simple. The people tell cutting off trees and all those things. The first and primary thing is we stopped the native cows and bulls to graze there on the hills and the grazing places actually. So what is a cow or a bull? It should automatically graze to the top and come down. In a Jersey or HF, there is a distinction between our native cow. The first and foremost distinction between Indian breed cow and foreign cows is, other than the owner and well-versed person, it will not allow you to touch the udder. That is the Indian breed cow. Whereas Jersey, it will give the milk to anybody because it want to get out of that milk. It contains so much of milk. So you tell me, which is Amritam? One that is very less and not easy to get is Amritam. So poison is available many places actually. It will be available plenty. Amritam is native cow's milk. Amritam is native cow dung. Amritam is native cow urine. That Amritam is what native cow can give because of the Surya Bhagavan's kripa. So we need to understand the solar ecosystem. From there, direct rays will fall on the hump, and there is a dewlap skin which is in the bottom, and there is a tail which is longer for a native cow, and there is a horn which actually is the symbol of native cow. If you have to identify a native cow, there are places where the hump will be very less because in a hilly region, let us assume Malanad. In Malanad region, if you see, the hump will be very, very, very less. You might be from a native of Malnad region. If you see, the reason is it doesn't need to store that much energy. It can directly go to the hill, take whatever it wanted, and come down. But if you see the desert kind of thing, for example, Rajasthan, or if you see Gujarat, where there is a climate is very hot, so the hump is very, very big because it stores energy. It's all based on the principle camel, how much it stores energy. Similar to that, it stores energy for its need. Very simple. This is the concept behind A2 or native cow versus Jersey RHF.
Very interesting. And also that experience I had when I was actually cleaning all the cow sheds is that when you touch cow dung, it's a very different experience. You don't feel like, it's something, like a waste, or you have to stay away from it. The kind of experience that you have with that is a very different experience.
But yeah, perfect. See, when we started off, we it is not that straight away we came to this level of first is cleaning the goshala, bathing the cow. It is an interesting note actually. 2014 when we started, we thought that milk will be the primary thing to save the native cows actually. It was at the very start of that actually. I'm speaking very honestly actually. The kind of traumatic experience I went through, it's a trauma actually. So I was newly married that time, and I need to go to my office actually. So early morning 4 a.m. I will wake up. That time A2 milk was not prevailing like this before. So I used to ask some farmers from Hosur to send the A2 milk. And since we have a family connection in Banaswadi area, I used to go every house and deliver the milk, not for profit or something. Straight away, directly, they will give the money to the owner. Okay, through this, we can save the native cows, I was thinking. But history and Gomata thought otherwise, actually. My main proportion is not milk. Gomata made me realize within 10 days, actually, how it was. Every day when I give the milk, in return, they will tell that this milk is watery. This is not like Jersey milk, which is thick, and they won't clean the bottles while giving. I used to go and give to my wife. She will clean in the everyday night, and she will. Then next day morning when they came, we will return the bottles actually. So these kind of things made me think why we need to focus on the milk, because milk is very, very, very important. But more than milk, buttermilk is more important. So people are getting more and more milk to fulfill their desires, that is coffee and tea drinking habits. Because of that, the native cow gives, I'm talking about Hallikar. Karnataka, so we promote only the local breed actually, Gopals. That's how we evolved during that time. So what is ailing among the people is they are not seeing cow beyond milk actually. Why is that so? Cow should be seen beyond the milk, and that milk should be the one of the components of cow's property, or whatever the output that a cow gives actually. And what about non-milking cow? What about bulls actually? This thought came into my mind when I was delivering the milk to the people. So let us shift our focus from milk to cow dung and cow urine. So how to shift our focus to cow dung and cow urine? We need to actually make people come to the Goshala, and from the Goshala, we should request them to clean the shala with hand, because we have seen there will be a small kind of a line, multiple lines that will come in the cow dung of Indian breed cows. It reflects the digestive pattern and the microbes that are present in the cow dung. All these things we started explaining to the people that cow dung and cow urine, focus on it on an economic basis actually. 1 liter of milk, how much, Sunil? You can tell. I'm talking about normal Nandini milk.
Get it at somewhere around 50 rupees.
Yeah. And A2 milk?
80, 90 plus.
80, 90 plus. Do you know what is the value of 1 liter of cow urine? 250 ml of cow urine cost around 110 rupees. You tell me in the economics, in the value chain, 250 ml of cow urine cost around 110 rupees. And if it is used in the medicine, mainly it is used in medicine, especially fever and chronic. There are many, many varieties of cow urine flavors which are added. Bilvasara, Amritasara, Haridra Sara that is used for cancer. As we add different flavors, the value proportion increases. That will be an additional revenue for a farmer. So people also should be aware that beyond milk, there are other things that we need to concentrate upon. And I'm of the firm belief that if we change the food habits that we have now, then every native cow should be can be saved actually. What are the food habits that we have? 10 times coffee and tea drinking. Indian breed cows is not suitable. Very, very clear. Please, for the sake of this show, I would request all of you, in my whole 43 years of existence, I have never touched coffee and tea in my life. Please drink tulsi tea, homemade, grow tulsi leaves at home. Get the tulsi tea and instead of coffee, go for ginger coffee. So in Gopals event also, we came up with the concept called Walkathon, where 2,000 people attended recently. We didn't told buttermilk. We gave buttermilk only to all. We told if we say buttermilk, hey, morning buttermilk, who will drink? Probiotic. We put that word. Hey, what is this probiotic drink? Please drink it. You will come to know. Everybody went. So when we give a dignified British name, people are accepting. If we say buttermilk, majjige, hadu, what is there in a hadu? We will have tea and coffee, no? So the tea and coffee is caffeine, no? Coffee is having caffeine property that gives you a slavery mindset actually. So we should move away from it and go with clean and green mindset, that is native cow, buttermilk, as well as cow dung and urine. I'm not saying drink cow dung and urine every day. Nowadays, India, today, the latest update, Chennai has 1 lakh cancer cases. Can you imagine 1 lakh cancer cases in a city like Chennai? India is the cancer capital of the world now. So the country which was the spiritual capital of the world, how can it become the cancer capital of the world? Country which is primarily more than 70%, now it has reduced to 56%. The latest news is coming in. Dependent on agriculture. What is my culture? Agriculture. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel used to tell. But country like India, if the cancer case is growing, which is also the medical capital of the world, people will not laugh at us. It is a shame on us that we are the cancer capital of the world. We should provide solutions to the world. How? Natural living, natural life, respecting the natural life cycle, and healing also naturally with natural farming. The food that we eat is poisoned today, because of which we are getting all these things. Change the food habits, automatically our life will go back to the life where our ancient people lived actually. We don't want to go back to the state where our ancient people were living in huts and all those things. We are telling, follow the principles and practices that our ancestors have followed actually. The local herbs, start growing at homes. Local variety of treatment that we had for each area, please start using it. In Karnataka, for example, in Bangalore, ragi mudde. What a beautiful local staple diet it is actually. Because in the cold, if you eat ragi mudde, it produces heat. So the body gets accustomed actually. And how much calcium it has actually, you can see a very beautiful source of medicine. So rather than taking calcium tablets, we can eat ragi and vitamin D, for example. Sunlight and milk, vitamin D is there. Why do we need vitamin D tablets? These are all the things that has come into picture because of one change of cows from Desi to Jersey. This is what the principles of it.
The cow urine is 110 rupees per 250 milligram ml, or almost like 400 rupees, easy per liter.
Why? Well, not 400, 800 rupees per liter.
800 rupees per liter. But why do we not really, put that as our primary source of why are we going ahead with milk?
No, Gopals from day one. If you ask anybody, Gopal means in Tamil, Pal means milk actually. We are not milk sellers, we are telling actually. We focus on cow dung and cow urine. But from day one, we have made a principle. You must be surprised actually. We don't own a Goshala. We don't do any commercial things actually. Two things we have consciously decided. The reason is we wanted every Goshala and every farmer to become sustainable. So in all our events, we talk about Jivamritam, we talk about Ganajivamritam, we talk about importance of Go Kripa Amritam, we talk about importance of cow dung, we talk about importance of cow urine and all those things. But we can't tell that buy this cow urine from this brand, buy this cow urine from this Goshala. Because every Goshala we are close to it. So these days, people are very wise, right? Google is there. Google Mata, they will just type. Automatically, it will give the nearest person. And we also wanted the same thing actually. So Gandhiji told, within a 10-kilometer radius, I again reiterate, Gandhiji told within 10-kilometer of radius, whatever that is available, please get it actually. So within a 10-kilometer radius, if you find a Goshala, people should go to that Goshala and get the products from there rather than getting somewhere outside. When I say outside, I'm talking about somewhere that is beyond our reach. We are getting toothpaste, we are getting balm, talking about. We are getting all the ointments, we are getting many things actually, including shaving gel, everything. So why don't we think about getting it locally, that too chemical free and plastic free? So this will avoid water pollution, this will avoid air pollution, this will avoid noise pollution, because a vehicle need to carry so many pollutions. That is why the ghats are destroyed now. That's why so much of vehicles are entering into hills, and in such a way that people have to put a block on which vehicle should come on what day. You can see the Delhi air pollution recently, and I'm surprised to see that in Bangalore. Yesterday I was reading the papers actually. In Bangalore, 50 minutes of oxygen cost 4,000 rupees in private hospital. And many people are coming to the chamber, what was called as the garden city. People are going to hospitals to get fresh oxygen, means how much we have degraded in the last 20 to 30 years in the name of advancement and development. So if advancement is about body and mind, we should be proud of. If advancement is causing destruction of the nature, where cow, trees, air, the Panchapudas are part of actually, then it is nothing but disaster. So we have to restore back to our old philosophy, that is protecting the Panchapudas and in sync with the Panchapudas. This is what the solution for this.
And how have you been able to build so many volunteers, Ramji? So every year I
It's
see
a
more volunteers every time, 3 walkathons.
It's a fourth walkathon that we are conducting, and the volunteer base is built, as I said, up till the COVID time in the 2020s. Up till that, we are going to only through the Goshala. So what happened was, when the COVID came, we were stuck at homes, and we started conducting online events, and many online events during COVID we conducted, especially related to health, all the environment, agriculture, we all related. Then when the COVID opened up, it was an interesting thing. Every time there were challenges, there were barriers, we were tested, and we started opening up, going to the Goshalas. Hardly 30-40 people were very much concerned that if they come out, what will happen to them. That mindset was there. But what we observed was people started going to parks more before than ever. After COVID relaxation was lifted, people were going to temples more. I mean, when I say temple, it is place of worship. It can be anything actually. So it can be a temple or a church or a mosque, whatever it is. People started going because people started believing that, okay, what will happen to me in tomorrow? And people were going to hill stations or trekking more to keep them physically fit. Who are those people? Three categories of people. One is general category, where aged as well as the people who are, they started going to parks, who have families. The second category of people is college students who told that, okay, I will not go to park. My capability is beyond that. I will go for a trek. And other category of people who are very, very devoted and religious, they started going to more and more temples and other things. Of course, the other two category also will come over here. We thought that we are conducting events on health, environment, agriculture, because Gomata symbolizes all the three. If we health and environment and agriculture is focused, then lifestyle also will be touched, right? So we coined a word called HEAL: good health, pollution-less environment, poison-free agriculture, and sustainable lifestyle. All the four for which the center is a native cow. So we conceived a program called Walk to Heal on January 1st. It was on January 1st in Kabban Park. Many historians, many people who are runners wrote us off saying that January 1st nobody has done it before. Because Kabban Park only dogs will be there. You will be one among the dogs, they are eating it. I'm not sure. So literally for 1 month, our team stood on the ground. We campaigned in and around Kabban. We don't know what to do. We thought that, okay, if we do a walkathon in Kabban Park, and those who are coming, if we focus on the importance of native cows as a wisdom point of view, because Gopal's whole tagline is awareness and application of native cows. Education and application. Where are all applied? I told the tooth powder we can make. We are teaching the people how to make. We are not selling. We are teaching the people how to make all these things so that they can take the cow dung dried from the goshalas. They can burn it at home. That will be an environment purifier, and they can produce tooth powder. There is something called as do it yourself in our website. You can go and check. Know Your Cow in our website, where all the breeds of cows are there. And Go Puja as a service, bringing cow at home and playing along with calf and cows, that is also there in our website. One can book. So these are all the things which we have developed over a period of time. But this walkathon gave us the strategy to do that. On January 1st, 2023, 600 people came. And all the 600 people, at the start of the walkathon, we talked about the importance of please associate with the cows in your place. Many people told it is an eye-opener. So first walkathon 600, second walkathon 1000, third walkathon 1500. Now this walkathon, I think you are present, more than 2000 to 2500 people were given. All were given sustainable gifts. This walkathon was especially special. Zero waste, zero plastic, and zero chemical. These three things we focused. We didn't allow one plastic also in the venue, especially in the stalls and our own volunteers actually. Zero waste, completely zero waste. Everything was managed. We washed the plates on our own, and we also gave everybody sustainable gifts, including the t-shirt that we gave. That t-shirt was wrapped in a brown cover actually. So everything is related to Gomata. How? Because cows goes and eat plastic. That plastic contaminated one will come as milk to human beings. There is a problem. Cows go and drink water. If that water is toxic, that also will. So we need to clean the river. We need to get rid of the plastics. We need to do home composting so that the waste from the homes doesn't come outside. Solve the problem at the root. We don't need waste management. We need waste elimination. And we need to talk about antimicrobial resistance, which is all these things this walkathon provided a platform. So we came up with a concept called Music to Heal, where in between devotional songs related to Krishna, Rama, or whatever the songs that are the Go Katha, Amritam, which we talked about actually. So in between that, we will talk about this cow, Karnataka breed, this is Tamil Nadu breed, this is Andhra breed, this is Delhi breed. Each one has its own region. What is its property? All those things will come into picture. We released apps, we released books, we released all those things using this as a platform actually. And Trek to Hill, of course, especially aimed at youngsters. We take them to the top of the hill. Shivagange, we went to Nandi Hills. We went to Arovelle this year actually. 3 Trek to Hill, 4 Walk to Hills, and 3 Music to Hills we have conducted so far. And all are 1,000+ people. And we were able to, more than the volunteers, the number of people we are able to reach and the minds we are able to change is very high through these programs.
I got him through Gopals through Suresh, and Suresh said that his lifestyle changed as soon as he started working here. In terms of tooth powder, toothpaste, no milk-based products, no coffee and tea. So I was meaning to sort of let go of coffee and tea for quite some time, and now that you said for 43 years you've been doing it, I am now inspired to get this going from tomorrow onwards, saying completely eliminate that bit.
So, see, one month of bill for a tea or coffee from 2,500 rupees, you will spend 2,500 rupees. I'm not saying what is this, you are earning so much for 2,500 rupees, you are talking about 2,500 rupees if you give to a poor person who needs education. Will it not be good? And without tea and coffee, if a person says he cannot live, the number of tea you increase should be proportional to what your desires will be, right? But it is not the case actually. If you go to a person and say 1 tea I wanted, he will say, wow, what a taste. Same person you give the second immediately, he will say, oh, I had enough. No, no problem. You please drink. You tell. He will drink. Third tea, fourth tea, like that he will tell. That means the happiness is not in the tea. The happiness in your mindset actually. That happiness with or without tea you can do no. Why we need an external stimulant in us actually to trigger us actually. Internally, our Jivatma should be self-triggered morning waking up till night actually. That means even while drinking a water, you should be triggered, right? It's all in the mind actually. That's what I meant. But the Sankalpa, if we take, it will save the native cows because people will stop growing the tea and coffee at the hill stations. Then our hill stations will be restored with the ancient herbal things that they grow. Then when a cow walks to the top of the hill, it will take that herb and that comes into the milk, and that milk will cure the people who need actually. This is how the Siddhas have certain medicines in Siddhas. The 108 Siddhas are there in Tamil Nadu. They have prescribed so many medicines for so many diseases, which are all available in the hill station. It is there in Karnataka as well as Andhra and many places. I'm pretty much confident. There are many munis. Certain things human beings cannot directly consume. So what will happen, right? It is documented. The cow will go to the top. It will take that. Or when the cow grazes, it will see this herb we will take. This person, my Yajaman is having fever. I will take this herb. It will take that herb. Then that comes as cow dung, and milk. And if we consume that, you will get rid of that particular problem. This is what it does. It does sense actually. We think that we are superior actually, but cows have a very good sense of what is. If you ask me why cow alone have sense, yes, dogs also have sense. It is very loyal to his owner actually. I'm talking about Indian dogs, not talking about foreign dogs actually. This foreign dogs, if you put some leg piece, it will go. Indian dogs are very, very loyal actually. You can see why Indian Army has Rajapalayam breed of dogs actually. How much it is sniffer. It's called as a sniffer dog. The best dog in the world is Rajapalayam dog. That is the Indian dog. Same way, Indian breed cows knows the problem of a particular owner, and it finds a cure for it and comes back. And when we drink that particular thing, that is Amritam. That is medicine. That's what we meant actually. This thought process should be evolved. So I would say, all of you, when the Amrita is there fresh, please take that fresh rather than adding something on top of that Amrita which spoils that whole aura. Yeah.
That awareness to me and to all listeners saying, what is it? And I think every cow also goes through its own process now. They're given a lot more of the hormones. They are artificial insemination.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of such suffering the cow goes through for the milk to come to us, and it also feels the same suffering inside, and so your milk also comes with that thought process of suffering.
Swami Vivekananda says, it's from the Upanishad, Vakya, what you eat is what you are. Very, very simple. What is the Swami Vivekananda is telling? What you eat is what you are. Your thoughts are framed by your genes actually. The mindset that has come during the birth. When an artificially inseminated cow's milk when you are drinking, don't you think that you will not get a originality of thoughts actually? Definitely, there is a gene, right? So certain things we call it as hereditary. We probably call, oh no, my father had diabetic. I also had diabetic. So we call it probably, it is hereditary. That means here you talk about hereditary and genetics. When we say this quality is passed on from the previous one to now, the father's quality is passed on to a son. We tell, no, don't speak all this nonsense. How it can be? Everyone is unique. No, there is a gene that it is proven in science actually. This genes has passed on down actually. So instead of natural mating, when a cow is subjected to artificial insemination, is it not mental torture? Is this the diversity we talk about? We talk about fundamental rights for human beings, but we forget about fundamental duties of a human being actually. The fundamental duties of a human being, I'm talking the Indian Constitution, is to protect the life of every being surrounding us. That includes cow, dogs, cat, everything. How can we alone live in this world actually? Everything is interdependent actually. Every species, there is one prey as well as one, that is one which loves actually. So something has to be a prey for something actually. So we need to be aware. In this process, due to shortcuts, our foresighted thoughts, we are undermining the value of the natural life cycles of a particular being. Who are we to decide how the birth of a cow should be? Who gave us the right actually? Just because we have the sixth sense and we are little bit having technology and other things in hand, that doesn't mean that you need to spoil the nature, because whatever the drastic step we are doing now is resulting in massive alteration of this earth. This is what the thing is happening very, very high, because two things are lost in this. The fertility of the soil, because you can see that the earthworms are no longer closer to the ground. It has gone down. The day we moved away from the bull-based farming, the earthworms are going deep inside, and we are using very, very big machineries to till the land. The earthworms are disappearing. The fertility is going actually. Second thing is the germplasm. This is a very interesting subject actually. The germplasm, if we don't preserve, the topography of the land and the people, the way in which the people live and the behavioral pattern as well as the birth curve is going to change. That's what's happening. You can see the mushrooming fertility clinics across Bangalore and other places, across the cities, stands as a tall example of what as a society we are undergoing for ignoring the natural living for a particular being. So I would call upon the friends to respect the nature, respect the life of other beings. The solution to the problem.
I think
It's
it
a
needs
vast.
a systemic change. It needs people to become more aware, and more
Correct.
awareness means that I can take an informed decision. And now I think there are places where people can actually like look at A2 milk, A2 ghee, sustainable farming. Uh, Quite a lot of that is actually, at least I keep hearing of those threads saying people are coming back. There is that slight movement towards maybe coming from my own health perspective, so that it also comes back to nativity of the cows, nativity of how it is done. But you also, like the last time we met, you talked about the bulls. So
Correct.
we hardly see, we see a lot of cows, most of it jersey. Almost literally no bulls that we see.
So this is a systematic erosion of our values. See, Srila Prabhupada told, cow is your mother and bull is your father. So it's also not new. He has taken it from Vedic text actually. Why cow is our mother and bull is our father? Because cow's milk we are required. So we become automatically kids of, when we drink a milk from a particular being other than mother, automatically we become its kids. And those who serve us selflessly, we also call as mother. That's why all the rivers in our country are named as mother, after a mother. So mother, Ma Ganga, Ma Kaveri, Ma Yamuna, Vital, Ma Kamadenu, Vital actually. In that same line, the cow tills the land, the bull tills the land, and bull takes care of your food. So it is called as a father. Today, the bulls have been moved away from the farmlands actually. So Gandhiji's disciple once told to Kurain in a famous quote, you remove and replace the bulls with tractors. Can tractor put cow down? This was also reflected by Sridhar Vembuji during his walkathon actually. AI, too much of AI is bad for us actually. Artificial intelligence should be used with our own intelligence. Artificial insemination is now happening, and because of which the bulls are getting lost, as well as there was no demand for it. But can AI replace the farmlands? Tell me, Sunil. No, right? Can AI replace what a cow can do when a topsoil is removed? When a recent flood happened, the topsoil is removed. So, can any technology bring back fertility in the topsoil? The cow dung of a bull, while tilling the land actually adds fertility to the topsoil. This is being lost. Actually, we are going into multiple cultures, permaculture and all those things, where the particular leaves of a particular tree falls down. It will take years and years to restore the fertility. Whereas just when a cow dung falls on the earth, and if water is drop of water comes from the top, the fertility of the soil will be restored in immediate way, because the soil get replenished. This understanding our people need to have. So that is how in the Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats of our country, that when the cows graze on the top, they let it freely. A tiger comes and eats the cow, no problem. It's prey actually. So 100 cows go, 5 or 10 cows lost. For that, you will close the reserve forest and call it as a tiger reserve, lion reserve, all those reserves actually. So why we are interfering with the natural process actually? Then what in the top tiger will do? It will come from the top to the bottom in search of a prey. Rather from here to the top it goes. Let it become a natural prey. But the tiger will remain silent in the top. It won't look for a predator actually. And the fertility of the soil also will increase because it goes all the way to the top, and the new sprout will come over there. There will be a lot of new saplings that will come, and the rain also will become very, very well, much to the liking of all the natural environmentalists. The soil will be also protected. These are all the things that are missing now. So with the missing of bulls into picture. But what is the way out, you might call actually? You would have heard about the bull-driven oil. Nowadays, there is a big clamor for bull-driven oil because we call it as cold-pressed oil. But is cold-pressed really cold-pressed? We are using a machine, and that machine generates heat, right? Rather, when a bull walks around, it walks in a very, very, very phased manner that the oil churns and comes out in a proper way. So the bull-driven oil, if it is used, it is ailment for all our health actually. Bull-driven oil, bull-driven electricity is coming up in Andhra, for example. Nowadays, what is the use of bulls? They are asking. Just 4 hours of walk in a treadmill kind of thing produces 4 kilowatt of electricity. Nandi project in Nellore region of Andhra, the Chief Minister of Andhra has inaugurated, Chandrababu Naidu ji. It's a very, very good way actually. So really that is a green energy, right? We talk about solar, we talk about different ways of generating electricity. So is it really green? Because solar panels are biodegradable, Sunil. You tell me. After a solar panel, absolutely no, right? But they call it as green. Really green is biogas and bull-based electricity. We should invest our time on that actually. So as the time grows, more and more bull power will give us more willpower to generate the electricity. Is my thought.
So much of thought into everything and so much of information awareness and then planning has gone into this. I have possibly 2 questions. How do you work with farmers and what is Go Chetana?
Yeah, but over a period of time, as we are conducting this walkathons, trekathon and all those things, as well as the farmers event, we expanded Bangalore, Mysore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Coimbatore, Tirunelveli, Kalburgi, Jaipur, and many places. Farmers are asking the question, yes, you come to the Goshala, but you also teach us how to make products, right? You also teach us how to make things at multiple places. Then we thought, okay, the consciousness of a farmer that he has, the same consciousness, the thought, whatever his feeling that goes into the mind of the people, then how beautiful the world can be. So that was the birth of Go Chetana. Particular Go Chetana should be executed. It is not in the cities actually. Cities, people are consumers actually. Where the real chunk of producers that happens, it is in the heartland of the villages. So we came up with the concept called Go Chetana, that is consciousness of cow and bull. And from Gramodaya to Rashtrodaya is the tagline. When the restoration of villages are happening with Go Gramas, then automatically Ramarajya will come into. Yes, actually. That is real Ramarajya, where a self-reliant village which produces enough energy for itself and then that is being used by themselves and people don't migrate from a rural area to an urban area like you and me who have migrated. Automatically, it can produce for its own sustainable, and excess thing it will give back to the cities actually. So what are all those excess thing? We are going across multiple places. Go Chetana started off with one full-timer who is a Gavya Siddha, and he started teaching how to make tooth powder, how to make dishwash powder, how to make deepam, how to make dupam, how to make churning out of natural process, how to make the kumkumam and vibhuti. Within the village, he started teaching. Now we have close to 7 full-timers, and in Andhra and Telangana alone, for the past 3 months, we have taught these things to more than 20,000 people. It's not a significant amount compared to the population, but in terms of the efforts that we have put in for the past 3 months, it is very high. But the 20,000 people, why we put it as Go Chetana is, you can prepare that and sell it on your own. That is your wish. Some people came back and saying that we are very good in preparation, but we don't know how to market it. So there is one division of Go Chetana which goes and teaches the people. And one particular division, that's a product division, it says that you do it. We will market it in the cities actually. Majority is Seva. This is also Seva that we are purchasing from them and just merely packing it and giving it to the market. This Go Chetana is actually creating waves. The reason is not only Go products, we do Go Yatras across villages. I would quote one recent thing in Ongole district, where in one village, where Ongole was very, very high, not even one person had a bull. There were bullocks that were present. So what we did was, from a neighboring village, we took a bull. We did a Go Yatra to every house. Within 3 months now, 4 houses have bulls. It's not an ordinary thing actually. What people wanted is moral support actually, that we are there for you. This Go Chetana is doing it actually. We are not saying we are giving this money, that money. No, we are not giving money. We are merely giving education. We are giving them confidence. People are restoring back to the cause actually. The India is filled with dharmic people. If we remind them that protecting the bull is part of our dharma, protecting the cows is part of our dharma, and it is also economy for you. Both the things, if we link, automatically people will sign up. Positive message actually. We don't want to take up any negative things actually. So this is dying. Tiruvalluvar in this Tirukural, he tells that if anybody begs in the name of cows, that is the greatest sin in the world. We don't want to beg in the name of cows. So this cow is, 100,000 cows are dying. Please do it. Yes, it is dying. We agree. We are very, very dissatisfied by it. 100 people are living with 100 cows. How is the message actually? That message we need to send to the people so that it brings positivity. It also turns as an inspiration. If we say 70,000 rupees is taking for one cows to rear, and we are also having severe losses, will it send any inspiration? You can make a living out of this bus. Gomaye Vasate Lakshmi. It's actually Lakshmi. We need to prove it. That's what Go Chetana is all about. Go Chetana is all about create consciousness in the mind of the people that rearing cow and bull is not a sin, but it's a win-win situation for everybody. That's what even if you see, there is a very famous quote from Raghuvamsha where Kalidas has told, Na kevalam payasam prasittim avehi mam kamadugga prasannam. So we merely think cow from the point of milk and other sensory objects, but it is beyond that. Na kevalam payasam prasittim avehi mam, it will satisfy all your desires. This is what Go Chetana is proving in villages. In the span of 1.5 years, we have touched many peoples in Tirupur, Tirunelveli, Kalburgi, where 12 organic input centers we have set up through Go Chetana. We are also going to work on waste elimination project in association with the corporate in Kalburgi. 10,000 students we are going to teach. It is going to be launched in the month of June. Waste elimination, I'm very clearly underlining, not waste management actually. And then we have also worked with many farmers in Andhra and Telangana region. More and more chapters are getting opened up in those places. Recently, before the walkathon also, we conducted a sustainability session, and ethno-veterinary medicines that is the practices. We are actually for a livestock, they are administering the injections. Don't you believe? If the livestock is administering injection, the human beings which consume that particular milk or cow dung or cow urine which is going into the soil, that is also becoming poison, right? This is called antimicrobial resistance. So I would request all of you as part of Go Chetana team. Up till now, you demanded milk. Past 5 years, 7 years, the conversation has changed. A2 milk. Now, all of you need to demand AMR-free milk, AMR-free cow dung, and AMR-free cow urine. This is the message that Go Chetana team wanted to send. What is AMR-free? Yeah, livestock that is free of antibiotics will result in AMR-free cow dung, cow urine, and milk. So the narrative need to change. The next 10 years, 15 years, we are going to work on this particular thing. Herbal medicine, we have a solution as well as part of Go Chetana. Giving herbal medicines to livestock for their natural cure. This is recently validated by Government of India because our mentor and advisor, Professor Punyamurthy sir, got a Padma Shri for just giving this treatment back. It is not a new discovery. It is just a rediscovery. See, salt, pepper, betel leaves. For humans, for livestock, it is an amazing medicine actually. Every Tuesday, if we take it, most of the diseases gone. If we leave this, we will go to a doctor. We are saying, turn to a family doctor, that is our natural living and cows. This is the message that through Go Chetana, we are sending it to every village, every urbanite will get benefit of it. Like that, many medicines are naturally there. Turmeric, aloe vera. Aloe vera can be used as a shaving gel as well. As well as aloe vera can be used to cure lot of ailments related to cow. As well as this moringa leaves. All are very good medicines for our protection of our body from any viral infections. This is the message we wanted to send as part of Go Chetana.
AMR free cow dung, cow urine, cow products, and also possibly switching off the current Jersey milk consumption at home. So it can start with switching off your coffee and tea, which is possibly a drug in its way, in its own ways, to sort of a movement out of that and moving into something else. What you let go and what you hold on to. You've given an inspiring podcast, an inspiring session so much. I am sure, I've not even touched on, in terms of the iceberg tip, in terms of all that you have learned about the cows, all the experiences that you had, all the people that you've looked at. And we've not even talked about challenges setting up over a 12-year period. So you have so much to share, but I think for today, this dosage is something that we would love to digest first and come back to you on another episode, Ramji. So thank you so much for your time, Mataram.
Vande Go Mataram. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Jeevan is moving a Prakash.